I welcome all of you in this meeting today. Let me just share a little bit that what is the intention of this meeting. In fact, all the meetings which I share, it is actually, in a way, you can say clarity, clarity. But let me explain what this clarity is for me. This is my clear understanding and experience that every one of you who is here right now is the same exact truth which I am, same exact being or soul which I am also. You have the same capacities also. Now, what but may enable you to know something deeper about yourself and like this about your own joy and the bliss and peace of your being, or may not. That is two things I notice. One is interest, and another is information. So some of you may actually have full interest in being joyful and peaceful naturally inside yourself, like always, not like just as an experience, but like on a continuous basis, like every minute of the day, every second of the day. That's what I mean. So you may have interest, but maybe you don't have information. Like maybe you don't know where you are missing, maybe. So this is where this clarity will help you. Clarity means right understanding. Understanding happens in the mind only, but in the mind there could be a lot of wrong understanding, wrong information. Like you have information that you will find this particular object or thing here, and actually it is not true, maybe. Like, have you not understood that if you are creating a map to reach somewhere, if you miss in the beginning some coordinates, you may miss the final goal by miles sometime, or by hundreds of miles even sometime. And another thing that I love to share also is the same thing connected to understanding, right understanding, and wrong understanding, maybe, misunderstanding, maybe. Like, this is one of my favorite example I give is that, let's say you are in Mumbai, no, and you are calling me that I want to come to Pune, no, and I can tell you how to come to Pune, but for that you will have to tell me where exactly you are in Mumbai right now, because maybe you're not aware of Mumbai also, like what is where type. So you have to read some signboard, and somewhere you have to pinpoint exactly where you are, and from where a map will be created, a journey will take place, and you will reach Pune, no? For sure. But if you tell me your wrong position, your wrong place, based on your misunderstanding, that you feel that, hey, I'm in Dadar, but actually maybe you are in Pali Hill, let's say, the both the journeys will be totally different. The map will be totally different. The approaches will be different, maybe. Like in one case, it will be like a direct train, Dadar, for example. In another case, it will be like a auto rickshaw, a taxi, and then afterward this, and then local train, and then bus or something like this. So this is what I'm saying, right understanding, and this is what I'm calling clarity. Clarity is very important. I don't believe that every one of us can wake up in this moment. It is more kind of decided by life, you can say. Everybody has a potential to wake up fully to who we are, but maybe not at the right same time. No? But definitely, everybody has some potential. Like life has some potential for us, for every one of us in this moment. And to realize that potential is the way to start flowering from inside to outside, from in the existential way. So like this, I would like to invite all of you that these meetings are to achieve clarity, to highlight misunderstandings, and like this, they will be dropped. You know? What is right understanding is which remains true over the period. No, even when you are challenging that understanding, or you are letting that understanding be challenged by the truth of the present moment, truth of your being, and still it remains true. No, that is the right understanding. No? At some point, maybe that will leave you also that okay, it has served its purpose, and now that understanding will not serve anymore. No, so like this, I would like to begin. But please understand the purpose of all the discussions here is only one: to become more clear about who you are, or to become more clear in yourself about what you want. No, like this from this meeting or from your life even also. No. So I invite all of you like this. If anyone want to talk to me, you can talk. There is an option to raise your hand. If you can, if you cannot raise your hand, you can write a text message also that I want to talk to you like this. Then we can start. Swarika, you can talk.
Namaste, beloved.
Namaste.
Uh, I want, as you were previously sharing of being present, I want to check with you and clarify if I have any misunderstanding regarding this. So,
Sure, sure.
just,
How wonderful. So you maybe you speak a little bit, and then we can look together.
so there's a feeling that there is a loop, and I have an option to suddenly like to stop and like to disengage with that loop of the mind and just be and relax like so. And sometimes it is like this, that there is stress because there's maybe interest in that engagement, or I'm like involved too much in it. But right now it's not like this. Like I'm feel like I'm getting engaged, but then I see immediately, oh, then I come back. So it's like to and fro, you can say a little bit, but more or less it's not stressful, you can say.
Yes. So this is. Do you have already some question or?
uh, just want to clarify, if I have any misunderstanding or any kind of blind spot, you can just
But
like
yeah, but for that
highlight.
you have to share with me what is your understanding, no? Because you have just shared the view that this is how it is, no? So maybe you say more a little bit, no?
uh, and my understanding regarding being present, you mean, like
Anything you want to be clear about, no? Like I'm trying to find that handle through which we can communicate. That's what I mean.
uh,
The purpose, no? The purpose of this communication, this talk. What do you want to achieve out of it, no?
like I want to see if I have any misunderstanding or wrong idea about this being present.
Okay. So
Or
so you are saying, let me maybe check with you then. That so you are saying that there's a loop of mind, and I feel I have a capacity sometime. I have a capacity to sometime unhook myself from it and just be here. So this just being here is being present. Are you saying like this?
Yes, being, yes.
In the experience, you can say yes, but in reality, no. Actually, in reality, this loop of mind is also happening in the present. That's why it is a very interesting thing for you to notice that. So this is one step that, okay, I unhook myself from the mind, loop of mind, and I remain present here. But this remaining present is going to be only sort of a stressful activity for you unless something deeper opens up for you, and how it will open up. That not only you remain present here, unhooked from the loop of mind, but slowly open up your seeing, your sensing capacity, that what exactly is that loop and how I get hooked to it, like this. Because this being present is not like a small thing. It is the light of truth, and it is your, from here you have pure capacity of seeing, meaning capacity of seeing everything as it is. So remaining in the present actually is remaining in the most powerful state of yourself, of your being. But it doesn't mean that everything else has to be closed down, that mind should not be there, thoughts should not function. It's not about them, it's about you. What are you doing? Are you just present or you're doing something else? It's not about whether there are thoughts or not inside you, whether the loop is there or not. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
So is this what we are talking, or?
Can I confirm? Like, if
Yeah, yeah.
so, like, there can be everything you're saying, whatever. Like, mind can be present, thoughts can be present, everything is there, can be there. But if I am involved with it or not is the.
Yes. So you can say it is like a beginning of learning to be present. This learning to be present basically is like learning to be disengaged from the mind, this loop, mind loop, and then remaining disengaged. So it's like two parts. No, one is that you succeed in disengaging yourself from the mind loop. Second is you remain disengaged also. Remaining disengaged is remaining in the present. No, and this remaining in the present has a power here. The power is that somehow you will gain back your natural power of being here, which is that you will be less likely to get pulled into the loop of mind, or at least not without your permission, not without your will. So this is why it is counted as waking up, waking up. In the waking state of yourself, in the awakened state of your being, there is no such thing as powerful mind or loop which can hook you or something. Is happening in the same space of the being which you are. How sky can be sucked into a planet, or any loop. Let's say our solar system, it has become so powerful. One day that it sucked the sky. Is it possible? It's just not possible. No, but sky may forget itself. No, so you are the sky in this case, the presence, and you are deciding to not be engaged with anything, so that the hypnosis, what we call identification, breaks. Identification with the loop breaks, and you discover that, oh, it doesn't really matter mind or no mind. I am exactly same always. So this is, I hope this is enough like this, or?
Yes, it's very clear.
Yeah. So it's a good beginning, but it's not the end of it. So it doesn't mean that you come out of the loop of the mind, stay here for some few seconds and feel very nice about it, and then get pulled into the mind. It's not really like that. Then who is benefited? It is the loop of the mind is benefited by this effort of being present. No, and it will become more maybe peaceful or something, which is nothing wrong again. But you decide, what do you want? What is your primary goal of being in the present? To remain out of the loop of the mind, or to gain some spiritual experience or any peace or something? Maybe like this. You have to be clear also, because present is the truth, your truth actually, or in the present you are truth actually. Outside of present, you tell me what you are. In the present, you are truth. Present is the truth, and you are that truth in the present actually. And it becomes clear to you slowly by remaining in the present. No other exercise or effort necessary really, except the effort to not get engaged in the mind again, like this. So is this fine for now?
Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Then one more, no? Drishti, you can talk. Jamie, you can talk, no?
Hello, Raji.
Hello, Jamie.
I wanted to check with you if my seeing or understanding is correct on a point related to presence.
Okay.
So I've heard you say that if I have any problems, if anyone has any problems, then coming into the present will actually solve the problems. So what I see is that actually that's true, because there's very, very little in common between the normal world and presence. So it's like the problem is solved because it just doesn't exist, because it doesn't live in that intersection. It feels a bit like that image of yours of the horizontal reality and the vertical reality. No, reality is not the right word. The horizontal and the vertical. And it feels like there's exactly one point in common, which is maybe me. I don't know what to call it, but the problems would not enter into the present because they're not in the vertical plane.
Your understanding seems very good actually, but still let me talk a little bit. No, talk to you a little bit. That so let us try to define what a problem is. So can you tell me a little bit, what do you mean by a problem, which is solved by being in the present? No.
The only way I can think of a problem would be basically a thought which I endow with troublesome meaning. And in the plane of presence, thoughts sort of lose their content. They're here, but they're not. The only reference they make is to past or present, or to past or future, which doesn't enter the present. So they kind of lose their power, so that they can't be problematic, basically. It's a bit like a film can't be like a horror show. A horror film isn't actually scary. A bit like that. It loses its power when you see that it's just photons on a screen,
How wonderful. How very good example actually. I fully understand what you are saying, and I agree that yes. So basically, being in the present is being in the truth of everything, of the body, of the mind, of the thoughts, of the feelings, of the emotions, of the word outside of the body and inside of the body also, like whatever. It is about, like, being in the present is being in the truth of everything, or seeing everything as it is actually, because in the absence of this clear truth, what happens is that it is as if thoughts are able to convince you how important they are for you in this moment, and how seriously you should attend them immediately, as they appear to you in the mind, like they have sort of their own stickiness or power to it. Like horror movie has a pull to it, like, oh my god, I don't want to, like somebody is very interested in the horror movie or very disinterested, both parties are attached to it in some way, affected by it, affected by it more than what it is, a screen and a movie going on, So in that way, yes, it is true. Being in the present is meeting the truth of everything as it is. And who will meet the truth of everything? You, of course. So it is not important that your thoughts should be in the present. It is that you are in the present. And by being present, I mean disengaged, not engaged with anything to begin with. No? And then slowly you are developing this power, strength, and clarity that, okay, you know, because at some point you will have to, or you must actually see even this power of the thoughts, while you remain in the present. You will actually, because even that happens in the present only. No? Present is like the space of truth, and the space is full of the truth light, true light, where you see everything as it actually is. So even this you will see, that how exactly mind is able to catch you, or convince you that it is important. What do you feel? Are we on the same line like this?
Oh yeah, we're absolutely on the same line. So at first it's a bit disorienting because it seems like everything disappears and it's not clear what's left. But then on second inspection, actually exactly what you just said, that everything that used to be given reality actually is present in the present, but it has a different, so that you see the mechanism sort of in play rather than the so-called reality of it in play.
Yes, yes. Like this is the part of waking up actually, that you have to see the mind as it is, like how it functions. Because otherwise, if you don't see, sometimes you will be present and sometimes you will be in the mind. No, in the mind basically means not like you can be in the mind, but it is more like in the influence of mind. So it is important actually, like when you say that I know myself beyond doubt. What does it mean? Is beyond mind. Beyond mind means beyond the power of mind. Like mind has tried everything on me, and yet I see that hey, it's the same mechanism. No? So yes, it is important to remain present, and even if sometime it looks like blank or something, that's okay. But only sometime. No? Afterward, it is not that your practical life is merged immediately into this present. No, that practical life still remains there. No, and that's also you. It is like you get chance to bring your light of this present into that practical life also. It just comes in by itself. No, like you get to see more clearly that okay, hey, what exactly I'm doing right now. Like even as a reality, maybe as a literal example, you will watch some movie and you will also kind of zoom in and zoom out, zoom in and zoom out, not in the zooming in from the eyes, but zooming in from the being. Like zooming in basically is more interest, more interest, more interest, more interest. Zooming out is less interest, less interest, less interest is like letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. Like this. Through the interest, we get attached. When we lose interest or we let go, we are back to natural state. No? All of this is seen also, understood also slowly. No? But in the beginning, being present looks like a space or a experience, seen from myself. That myself is the state of mind from where we see this. Valid. It's a good point, beginning point. But it has to switch also. That now you have to see the mind from yourself, from the present, like this. Like what happens exactly when I get lost in the mind and I kind of forget that this flavor of presence and truth. Because you, as you said, you are the common element here. You are the common factor. No, whether you are lost, whether you are found, but you are. No? Resolve yourself in the present. Okay, resolve yourself in the present, that who I am in the present. Then you will not need to resolve yourself anywhere else, or most probably you will not need to resolve anything also actually, because by resolving who you are in the present, you have actually effectively resolved everything of the mind, or all of your attachment with the mind also, and it cannot be done without that actually. So you have actually effectively resolved everything. So would you like to resolve like this again and again, and including right now also, if you feel interest right now?
Yeah, so it seems like taking advantage of this common point that I am. This is really a lifesaver. So I can check at any time, it seems, including now. Can we check?
Yeah. But there cannot be any time actually when you will not say this, no? Like there is no time in the day when you will not say that I am, that I exist. No? But now something is maybe more glittery, something is more, shiny, called presence or present. Now resolve yourself with this also. Like I'm feeling very, very bright and very beautiful right now, which is true. I'm able to see my thoughts and things like this much more easily now. It's true also. But what about you? I am. I exist. Where you exist? In the present or outside of the present? And who are you? Like you are the seer of this brightness of the present moment. You are the experiencer of the joy of this clarity of this moment. And you may say yes. And where are you placed? Where are you placed right now actually? Where are you placed right now? If let's say present is the space full of light, where are you? You are the space, you are the light, or you in the light or in the space or somewhere, like exactly. You know what I mean? Like experience it right now, like this, and tell me.
Actually, it's curious that up to this conversation, I had felt like what you're calling the space of presence was had a sort of superior quality to the material of thoughts and these things. But actually, as you're speaking, even it sort of falls into that same league of the scene, let's say. So it's like I can rotate my view through 90 degrees, and depending which dimension I'm looking, I'll see the material of thoughts or the plane of presence. But in actual fact, in a way, they're both the same. They have the same character even. It's curious.
Yeah.
So actually now I don't know who I am. This is it's a mystery.
But you don't seem to be unhappy, you know?
No, it's exciting. New discovery. Very nice. Thank you.
Like this is I feel a good thing. It's a good thing because on the path of truth, being truthful and authentic is a must actually. Like it's like a prerequisite actually. Nobody can survive without that, and you are authentic and honest right now. No? So you were not already holding some conclusions that okay, I have already finalized that that and now I'm being challenged. Again, you know what I mean? You are still open to learn. No? But I want to ask you now, very direct question: that do you have any need to know yourself? This is where a deeper clarity about yourself, or you can say about what you are not, will happen. Like, what is the need to know yourself? Because it's a very famous and long-lived spiritual conviction we have that I have to know myself. But why? I'm asking you right now because you are in the right time, or maybe right state, maybe that you don't know yourself. Do you need to know yourself?
Yeah, it feels like it's more like a settling, like a natural relaxation or something. So the layers above maybe have some anxiety to know, but then as they calm down, then the closer to myself layer is discovered, and it didn't have the need of that more nervous layer.
Yeah. But is there any urgency to know yourself? Like, is there any restlessness, in you?
I wouldn't say restless. It's more like It's kind of pleasing to see that there's unknown territory to explore, but
Yeah.
not any tension or no.
Okay. Then that's wonderful. Then I would like to spend 5 minutes with you in wonder. No? Because this is a place of wonder. There is no work here. It's like that you say that I don't know, and I invite you to know yourself right now. What you will do now? Know or live is same thing actually here. Knowing yourself or living yourself is same thing here. And of course, it's not a spiritual practice that we are doing together. No? It's much, much, much more immediate than any spiritual practice or any effort. Let me maybe ask you something which is very useful, and it is counted as discovering yourself or exploring yourself also. No? Right now, if you don't do anything, meaning let us not I'm just say example, a pointing that you don't know anything about you right now or ever. Will you exist or you will not? Is your existence dependent on any knowledge or any experience that you have right now or you will have in future?
It's raining on the roof here. It's quite a loud sound, and I suddenly am totally present to the fact that neither can I stop the rain, nor do I have to make it rain. It's just raining.
It's a very beautiful expression, like Zen expression. I clearly sense and feel the truth in you, no? In your words. No? Any problem left to be solved now at all? Any problem? Past, present, future, everything included. Don't invite problems, of course, but skin right now. Any problem left to be solved, like fundamental problem. Yeah, I thought that internet is a problem, no? These days, so I thought that maybe you are frozen.
No, I have a good internet here. There's definitely no problem, nor is there any urge to go looking for problems.
Yeah. Do you see this? This is actually, Jamie, called freedom. Freedom. Freedom can never be attached to anything really. Like freedom gives me this, freedom gives me that. You know, can never be attached to anything. That is, again, creating a home or a form, out of the truth. Being in the present essentially means living the truth as it is. What you said about the rain, this is being in the present. And this is our natural state, by the way. So just all this effort is to come back to our natural state. That's all. Not that we have to now do something else here. Nothing else has to be done now once you are in your natural state, except your appreciation for it, your interest in it. So I feel this is very good. Enjoy yourself like this.
Thank you very much, Raj.
Thank you. Thank you. This is the beautiful part of it, Jimmy, here, that in truth, we are actually one. I am tasting the same ocean of truth which you are tasting right now. There's such an excitement I feel in my heart about it when any one of you experiences this, like this, like we two people are at the same time able to live this. Good. Then I think it was Kiran also, no? No, Kiran is gone. Drashti, you can talk now.
Namaste. Can you hear me?
Namaste. It looks like. Let me see.
I don't feel to ask anything anymore right now. Like what you've guided with Jamie, it feels like
You are saying that it feels
like
enough.
moving, walking together.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels content. Like
How wonderful. Then there is no need. Okay, then that's fine. Then enjoy yourself.
thank you.
Thank you, dear. And you wrote later on that, no, it was that time, I think, that I have fallen in love with me. Nothing compares to this. Yes. It is really about this, that you fall in love with yourself, with truth. No? Interest, no? What interests us, what excites us, no? Okay. Anyone else want to talk to me? You can talk. Yeah. Miriam, you can talk.
Thank you, beloved.
Thank you, dear.
Beloved, when you were talking about coming from Mumbai to Pune, and that we have to be clear where we are to reach.
Yes.
And I feel like that I'm still very interested in this, the monkeys playing football, and that I enjoy this play a lot. In other words, I feel because it's more love related in a way, which sounds more true. It's like it's kind of flirting with myself, with the presence, or I'm not exactly sure about the word which I'm flirting with. And it's very beautiful, and right now being here with you, and it's yeah. But to really like to tell the truth and where I am, is that I'm not, I can't commit yet to marry to marriage in a way.
Understand.
Like if we stay in this picture.
You want to be in an open relationship.
It sounds like, yeah.
Totally.
Thank God it's just the two of us and nobody else is listening.
Actually, both of you are you only in this case, no? Both the parties are you only, no? And in that also you want to be in an open relationship. How funny it is. No? That I want to have an open relationship with myself, you know. I think it totally makes sense to me. Like, so you want to say more, or I share something?
Yes, please share, beloved.
Okay. I feel there is this just totally fine. It's your life, no? I think this much even Lord will accept that. Hey, I have given you a life. Let's say, if it is like this for you, so this is your life, and if you want to, if you are happy in this model, it's totally fine. No? Because if you are happy in this model, truly, really, there is no power which can move you from it anyway. You know. So I don't want to be that fool to suggest you anything that hey, know yourself. Why? You will not really know. You will not do anything if you are genuinely happy. And if you are not, it will show in time very quickly that you are not happy. Then you will do something anyway. But this is not the time right now. Then if this is not the time to do anything right now, at least why should you not enjoy fully how you are right now? You know what I mean?
Yes, yes, exactly. And this is also like when you talked about the map, and then this came up, and in a way it sounds like a defeat, right? Because we're here serious people and we are doing serious stuff here. And
Really? I think I have
oh,
entered
this
in
is
a
the other
wrong
group.
meeting or something. I think.
Wait.
Are we serious people doing some serious work here? I thought we are just enjoying being present.
Exactly, and this is like, and then I thought, no, it's I'm not reporting a problem. I'm not yeah, I'm just sharing my point on the map. And it's and also, as you said, it's
Can I stop you here
yes,
just for a
please,
moment?
please,
See,
please.
you were happy before I was sharing. Then you were happy also when I was sharing, and then something came in your mind. Did something? How exactly it came? Let's look into it. This is the important thing. So don't let go of your happiness. Be very very happy, and this flirting model is totally fine. But why you are talking to me? Because a doubt has come in you. No. So this doubt is important to be seen. You know that hey, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe no. Why otherwise you will talk? You will be, your eyes probably would be closed in your flirting with yourself. Like how nice. This flirting with yourself is what I have known as Maharas of truth with the truth. No, you will just be so absorbed in this, like wow, you know. So it means there is some material, some seeds left in you, which get stirred up or get activated upon listening to something like an invitation like this. You know what I mean? And like when you are talking, it is being highlighted that no, I really don't want to achieve that great goal of reaching exactly to my truth by identifying clearly where I am from where to begin. No, do you see my point?
I mean, it's the doubt is, or no, the yeah, in a way the doubt is that this flirting, it's temporary, right? It is
We
an
don't know.
half.
I'm flirting like
Yes.
for many years actually.
True. In my case, it has in a way timestamps, and I feel also like it's a little, or actually when we keep to stay in this picture, maybe I was not precise enough. It's more like I exist. So this is no doubt. And also I have no doubt in that I can always dig, like no doubt that I will never be not present, and also present and exist. So I can always dig in this. So therefore I feel I can go a little out flirting because I know I can come back. Actually, it's more this. I feel like, and when I started, it was more like, I feel I'm already committed in a way, but still I'm looking around
Understand, totally understand. Yeah.
that way.
But in this whole thing, you are happy, no? Happy
Yes.
means peaceful. You are peaceful, no? That is what matters, no? Because when you are peaceful, you are yourself. When you are not, you are living as somebody else, something else, no? So just ensure your peace and happiness at any given point of time, and you ensure your joy, and like this, you ensure your truth also. No? Like, is your happiness, is your peace unbroken? Just to care about this. No? Are you joyfully swinging between the two, no? Going out and coming in, and knowing always that I'm never going to lose myself and never going to not exist, no? Like this.
Yes.
Like, see, you can only live in one of the two states. One is the state of fear, whether visible or not, whether noticed or not, because there is sometimes so much excitement or joy that is produced by the body-mind balance that we don't notice that fear of losing, you know. Or the other state is peace. The opposite of fear is peace in the beginning, which is experienced as love later on. No? A love which just flows out, does not know anything else. Just it does not know any other way. Just flows out and embraces everything slowly. So just check your standpoint. Check your standpoint from where you are living. All of it. Is it the place of peace, or is it the place of fear? Even if very subtle fear. Are you fully relaxed in yourself? Let's just make sure this. I know it's a bit tricky thing I'm asking you to do, but I hope you can connect with this, no?
Yes, beloved. Thank you very much for this pointing.
Because sometimes even we like to taste unhappiness, even opposite of peace, even like what we call cheat meal once a week. We sometimes even like that to experience the punch of the the healthy food or something. You know what I mean? To create a contrast. But make sure that it is you who is doing, not some impulse, not some habit or something. Like if you are doing it, it is all fine. You means you who is who exists and who is never not going to exist. And the nature of this I am is peace. So just make sure all these points are connecting, then all is well. All is well, no? What you do.
Yes, beloved, and from I feel from my standpoint, I'm talking right now, I would say there is no fear, but there is very much doubt I'm not sure if I can, in every second of the day, I could confirm this. Yes. So it's thank you very much. It's super useful, I feel.
Yeah. Yes. This is very important. No? Because living under the fear is actually not living at all. Not living under the fear and even living nothing else, nothing at all, is living fully, actually. This is what it being peaceful, no? Not living under the fear. Actually, fear can never be present in truth. Fear is not present in truth, and fear is not present when you are truthful to yourself and authentic to yourself also. You know, so like fear is always connected to some form of dishonesty, inner dishonesty, towards the truth. Like you cannot have fear of momentary, for example, temporariness of life. You cannot have that if you are truthful to it, that yes, it is temporary. So let me live it fully right now. I'm going to, like this tea is not a tea, but this hot water will not be hot like throughout this conversation, so I can leave it and forget it. No. But do I have fear of it? It's a fact. Why? What is there to be to have a fear about? Fear means I'm not clear about it. Maybe why don't I just have a look at it and see the temperature and sense that okay, it is going to take like another 10 minutes. So I have 10 minutes to live this tea, or this water, no? You know what I mean? So being truthful, being authentic, being honest, being factual, that this is the fact, and living that fact. This is what actually is being present. There is no other special states we are going to experience. We do experience many things when we are coming out of a different model of life called mind or ego into our natural state. But those are more intermediary experiences. No, they are not to be seen like a reading or something about our growth or something. When you are truthful to yourself, honest to the facts, seeing them as they are. Seeing means allowing them to be seen by you, not like fighting. Like, no, 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 no. Like if you don't have a prejudice about it, that, like for example, if you are not peaceful right now, this is the fact of this moment, no? Or if you are peaceful right now, both are fact of this moment, and they are not against your inherent, unbroken inner peace. Actually, nothing that you experience is ever against your inner peace, which is inherent and unbroken at any point of time. But the inner peace, the flow of the inner peace is unbroken. But you may break up from it sometime and get involved in something which you think is other than how actually it is. So seeing everything as it is the way to unhook yourself in a way from that engagement, that work we are doing continuously with the state of ourself inside and outside the circumstances, and get connected to your inner peace, which is always present inside. So it's good like this, or we will keep talking like this otherwise? No? Please tell me.
Yes, we can talk. Sorry.
I just want to make sure that there's anybody, like there are two other friends also who are in the
It's
pipe.
thank you very much, beloved.
But I'm very happy to talk to you if you have anything else left right now.
I feel, yeah, this pointing with fear and now just like in the last sentences, part of the fear, or maybe one also is like pretending. Yeah, so these are very, yeah, I sense blind spots.
Yeah. This is the place of truth. Present is the place of truth. It is the place of true light. You stay here. You will be able to see all of your blind spots, and like this, you will become free from them. No? Just for 2 minutes, I quickly want to share with all of you. I invite you, right, all of you right now. This being present is not an option you have really. Being the way you are right now is also not the option you have. You are the way you are right now. But there is an inner wisdom that is your wisdom. And that wisdom is somehow consumed in trying to figure out maybe or trying to solve what is not a problem, but it's just a fact. So everything is a fact of this moment. Everything that you are experiencing right now is a fact of this moment. It's not a problem. It's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong inside you in this moment. It is a fact of this moment, the way it is. And if it is a fact, the way it is, what is the work you have to do now? And if you don't have to do any work, who are you? A doer, a thinker, or what? Just feel. You don't have to answer this to me or to you. It's an invitation to discover the truth right now. Full truth, of course. And without doing anything. This is the funny part of discovery of truth. Without any effort. So if you are caught up in the thoughts, this is the fact of this moment. Now, if you try to be free from this caught up from with the thought, you are busy right now. Don't be busy. That's all. Let yourself be caught up with the thoughts, but you will not be caught up with the thoughts anymore. If you don't work on this problem or this fact, if you don't work on any of the facts of this moment, including I'm caught up with the thoughts, I'm not so present. If you don't work on any of these things right now, do you see? Nothing has to be excluded from truth because everything is already part of truth or happening in the ocean called truth. It's just that you have to let go of your limited view or your hold on that view that this is the only view and this is the only truth. Open up to the truth as it is at any given point of time. This is the practice, or you can say decision or wisdom of being present. This is the wisdom of being present. Being present with the facts of life of this moment inside you as they are. No sense of doership or no sense of thinker can survive here. You become free. When you become free right now, who are you really? And do you really need to ask who are you? Why you would ask that? To answer to whom? You don't need the answer here. You are so peaceful and joyful. And you don't want to give answer to anybody else. Why you would ask even this? No effort here. This is the effortless joy of your being, my friend. This is the unbroken peace. This is called inner peace, my friend, which was always present. You were just busy. I have just invited you to be free, to disengage from everything. This is the inner wisdom which can be communicated between the beings directly. This wisdom does not need to go through the mind, or cannot really go through the mind. Otherwise, in the mind, you will again listen to my words as if I am asking you to do something. No, I'm not asking you to do anything at all. Those of you who have understood what I'm sharing, it is immediately, it manifests immediately. Its results are immediate right now. And not only you are feeling peaceful, but you are learning something very deep at the level of being, which is not going to, you will not lose that so easily now. Again and again, it will surface by itself in the middle of confusions of the mind and things like this, like a light, like a joy, inner joy, like, wow. So very good, very good. Then I talk to others also, no? Kumar, you wrote, wow, thank you, Raji. Yeah, thank you, Kumar. Karuna now, Karuna, you can talk.
Raji, namaste.
Namaste.
I raised my hand just to say that I was so much satisfied with that sweet conversation with Miriam, and that everything was exactly for me, and even the words and the responses and the doubt which you pointed out was like, if you are flirting, that maybe I should be married, or like everybody says you should be married, and I don't want to be married, and I like flirting, keep flirting. So this kind of doubt I just immediately found in myself, and I'm very, very grateful for this. And also the next step you took with the subtle fear of being just in truth. It's also about me. I feel this subtle fear in my system, and I don't know. After this conversation, I'm so content. So I don't know what to ask anymore. Thank you so
Wonderful,
much.
wonderful, wonderful. This is very satisfying for me. I feel contented, upon listening to this report. Very nice, actually. I also don't have much to say now, but I can say this: very, very beautiful, very true. I feel truth in your words. I hope you understand now why it is called waking up now. Now you can understand. Like, you are just not changing anything really, and yet you are achieving something so powerful, which is like beyond our imagination, actually. And Karuna, you can also understand now, right now, and I like using this opportunity, I share this with everybody also, that you are at this ground zero. This ground zero is zero knowledge, and this zero knowledge takes away your self knowledge also, which is false knowledge, actually. This is what is called ego, false self knowledge. And when we live in that, we live as a false self. Not that there is such a thing as false self, you know. So it's ground zero, zero knowledge, zero self or zero self-knowledge.
But still very much alive.
Because it is just truth now, nothing else. No mixing of anything else now here. At this point, maybe you don't realize, but slowly you will have to think, maybe, about what you are knowing. And that will be like trying to put the water of the ocean into some small boxes or cups, or like this. In the concepts, they are small boxes. Concepts are small boxes, in which you try to put the water of the ocean, or the experience of the oceanic being. Difficult, very, very difficult. And yet there is a need, sometimes. But we can speak, about what we are experiencing, what you are experiencing. You can speak about it without losing what you are experiencing, without getting out of the ocean of your being. You can speak about it, or not. Both are fine. But just talking about this experience does not really mean that you are in the ocean of your being. So I'm not talking about you right now, but every one of you, please understand this. Talking about the silence of the being and talking about the presence or being present does not mean that you are present actually. Make sure that you understand this, no? Very good. Enjoy yourself. Thank you, beloved. It was one more. Kiran. Kiran was before this, but then I don't know what happened. Okay, Kiran, you can talk.
Namaste, Raji.
Namaste.
There seems to be just like such a beautiful flowing with you, and just wanted to hang out a little bit with you. And it's like, I mean, I just want to share that as Miriam was talking, and like a thought came up, like, I want to talk to Raji about fear. And the next word you said was fear, and the whole thing unfolded. And it was just like so amazing that there was no need to ask the question then, but still, still there was this urge, an interest to flirt, to meet, to dance, just to share this, that I'm noticing, Raji, that again and again, in the day, I feel like just checking, like taking a look, like you often say, what's happening here, what's going on here. And
like what is coming up right now here is that, which can be useful for others also, that having a fresh look, is the most vital thing for a seeker of truth. Having a fresh look, because we mostly underestimate the power of conditioning. Our seeing gets conditioned, for example. Our spiritual efforts get conditioned also. Having a fresh look. And what I call coffee bean movements, like this. Like disconnecting from everything, from all the backgrounds. Background of this, background of my life, background of spiritual life and everything, disconnecting from everything, having a fresh look, like having a freshly testing life, like this. And that is where somehow I sense that some people will not like it. Some people will not like to disconnect from the sense of journey and growth, because they see that to be more than enough, no, for them. And some people will like to, because they are sensing that I'm not reaching really, somewhere out of it. I want to have I want to taste the freshness of truth and life, then have a fresh look. It's not really that life is not fresh. It's not that this moment is not fresh. It's that your glasses are dirty, your eyes are dirty. Wash your eyes only, nothing else. How to wash your eyes? By disengagement, by decision to be only present at the max, having a look what's going on. Like not attending the thoughts, not attending the impulses that I want to do like this, I feel like this. Not attending them, but just seeing them as they are. That there are impulses inside me. When you see that there are thoughts inside you rotating, then what you would say to me about it, like how you will report to me about it? You won't be able to, because that will be a thought in you talking to me, no, about there are thoughts. No, when you truly see that there are thoughts rotating in you, you will be silent. Like, okay. So this watching the thoughts has been very, I think it has been misunderstood many times. And like this, everything. What you can say about the thoughts that you will watch right now, and who you are? I think all of you are clear that this meeting and meetings like this, all the meetings with me, are a place of awakening, not a place of spiritual practice. No. So I hope that I make any sense to you, to all of you, like this. So try not to fit my sharing with in the boxes of spiritual practices or anything like this. Right now, when you see your thoughts moving inside you, without your permission, without your cooperation, who are you? And how you will speak now? Because thoughts are not you. You are not thinking them. When you see, when you see the thinking, a thought, this is how one experiences, more or less. That it's not myself thinking. So it's not my thoughts. Now what should I use? What tool I should use? What power should I use now to speak about it? Let's just share it like this. So say anything if you
Yes, what I want to say is that somehow complaining is totally falling away, and it's kind of getting replaced more with wonder. That there are intense experiences at times, and but along with that, there is always something that is here, and then wonder, like what's actually going on here, so including seeing a resistance to that experience, indulging, but it's all being seen, and also over time, like as it unfolds itself, there is also a certain dawning of clarity of seeing that it's but one thing I want to check with you, Raji, is that perhaps there is a subtle interest in discovering, knowing, understanding, and I'm wondering in this moment with you that is this interest also coming from some ego mind? Is it, or is it like just here and it is there a me over there? You know, that's something which I want to just check with you, because there is interest. There is certain feeling of looking and discovering, you know, that kind of a feeling.
There can be a very simple check about it, like a checkpoint, no? That discovering, living, exploring, experiencing is fine. But do you want to take anything home? Do you want to hold on to anything after that? Or do you hold on to any understanding after that exploration? That can very simply indicate to a you who want to hold on to something, and this you must be explored by you now, that who I am, who want to hold on to the understanding, who want to hold on to what I have seen, you know, because in truth everything remains in truth, including the seeing of the truth and the seer of the truth. Then if you want to take something home, what will be that home and who you will be? Make sure that you check that. We all are in the ocean called truth. Knowing, not knowing, sleeping, waking up, seeing, not seeing, how much I am seeing, how much I am not seeing. This truth remains same. So just don't go to sleep like this, that there is something other than the truth. That's all. I think this much will take care of everything. No? What do you feel? Is this good or not?
Yes, it's totally good and very good. And this last pointing that any need to store for future, you know, is the test, so to speak.
Yes.
No? Yeah.
Yes, yes. That kind of brings me to a sort of a thing which I feel interested right now, and maybe we can Kiran use this opportunity and for everybody also, that so what is past and future? Okay, what does not mean that we are going to explain or define, but let us try to experience right now. Where is past and future right now? In the light of present moment, where is past and future right now? Is it like another space, like there are three compartments in life? One is present, one is past, and one is future. Let us taste it. Let us not think about it. I invite again all of you to taste it. Because like this, we will become clear about what is time also, no? Maybe up to some degree. What are these three components of time? Past, present, and future. Present, we are knowing. What is past in relation to the present? What is future? Like future is like a journey which you can do from here right now, and you are not doing right now because you want to stay here. This is a more beautiful place. You are finding present to be more beautiful than future, so that's why you have an option, although to go in the future but not going. Is it like this for you? And past also same. That past is also a place where you can go, but you are finding this to be more pleasant place, this present, and you are not going there. Is it like this? I am inviting all of you. Have a fresh look at this. Have a fresh look without background, without understanding, without preparation. Otherwise, with the preparation, you cannot see really. Without preparation, can you see right now? Can you have a look? I invite you, all of you right now. What is present in relation to the present? What is past and what is future? Right now only. And I'm not challenging you in your definitions. I'm inviting you to taste it right now. Taste the truth of present and truth of past and truth of future right now. Where is past right now? If past is not here right now, then it means past is a place. This present is another place. It means like this. No? Be clear. And yet you will wake up to another level of clarity. No? Anything you want to say, Kiran?
Yes, what I want to say actually in response is that in this moment, the present can't go away, but inside of that, past and future appear, as memories, thoughts, imaginations, and perceptions. But I don't, in this moment only, I'm saying that it doesn't appear as if these two things are places to go to. I mean, they almost seem to visit the present.
This is good, no? This is good. Because this is one of the job, or you can say something that remains pending in the being when you are knowing yourself. That, okay, I have learned to be in the present, but I'm not able to stay here now. How to learn to stay in the present. Now, this clarity will take care of that need to stay in the present. Where else you will stay now? Wherever you stay is called present now. No, now, this now is what is present, and this is not a conceptual, discussion going on here. We are actually testing something so clearly that blind spot is removed, and with that will go the experience of confusion and suffering and disturbance and sense of journey and everything. You will become clear that I don't go anywhere. I remain in the present. No? Everything comes to me, not that I go. Do you see the difference? Everything comes to you, not that you go anywhere. Or maybe it is like you are a still seer watching the river of life floating. So something comes means comes in the range of your, in the field of your view, and then it goes away from there. Then the memory of that remains. And what will be the future in this case, Kiran? Because past, we understand that memory remains of something that passed in front of you. What will be the future? The demand for something to be repeated, what has happened, which means based on the memory, you will project a demand on the time, on the life, on the present. That can it happen again? We are just exploring. We are not really defining anything. It is an invitation to taste these things right now and know the deeper truth of them right now, like this.
So, Raji, in this exploration, what's coming is that if in the present there is a wonder of what might be, and not like a tightness around this should be, this arising of wonder of this could be, I don't know, but I mean, is it the degree of attachment to something that is arising a function? I mean, like, I'm just because thoughts do arise and imaginations do arise and expectations, but I'm wondering, does it have to do with them being more play objects, possibilities, and versus like work to be done to reach somewhere?
If I have understood correctly, then basically it is really like past and future can be only real as in relation, like it is like relative in a way. The more real the present is for you, the less real will be the past and future actually. No? Maybe you can give me hot water. And and we have already tasted right now together, Kiran, what is past and future. Blind spot. It's a blind spot. So living in the sleep state of being, you taste the past and future to be very, very real. No? While you start waking up to be in the present, finding yourself to be in the present, you find different thoughts. You don't find past and future. You find different thoughts, different capacity of mind, of the memory and of the imagination, no? Like this. But you don't find any such thing called past, you know. So past is found to be a belief only, which makes the experience of time to be much more real than it actually is. No? Like sections and then subsections and like this. Past, present, future. Seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, decades, centuries, like this. More detailing, more it becomes real. Like how it is possible that there are so many details and this is just not true. You know what I mean? This is how we get convinced too many facts and looks like we get hypnotized. No, simple truth can be seen by you by remaining in the present. So you don't have to demolish something called past and future. See the truth of it. What is the truth of past and future? But that cannot be known without being present or without being in the present, let's say, to begin with. No? Did I say, like, is it enough?
Yeah, it's very, very good, Raji. And in fact, as I just walk with you here in the present, like one thought arises. I don't know if it's, worth looking at, but there seems to be such a deep-rooted story, of karma, which is, which kind of substantiates, or gives power somehow to this, that there is a past, and therefore now out of this, it's almost like an architecture which opens up once there is a kind of a need to enter into it or to really explore it or know it, out of some knowledge. But actually, even the notion of karma, I mean, like, I can't know, I really don't know whether that's another story actually, or another construct of this immensity. That's what I'm
Actually, what you are saying is true, but just I want to make sure that we are talking about the same thing, that when you are in the present, you face the truth of everything as it is. So a seeker of truth or a seer of truth does not have any fear, does not have any reservations, does not have any restrictions that there is no such thing as past. It doesn't believe in anything. It doesn't believe that there is a past. It also does not believe that there is no past. Why don't you see the truth of it? So it is about living the truth of everything as it is, which is not possible actually without being in the present, which means without being in your true state. In the present, you come to your true state naturally. You become free from the influence, or you can say effect of mind, which is like a hypnosis in which we live. No, it is like a hypnosis really. Nobody will like to accept it. No?
And also, is it true that, it's, I mean, this is also seeming to be a fact that in your presence, when in satsang, that there is this immense light in which, the seeing of this is more effortless, let's say. And then, of course, not that it goes away, but the so-called hypnosis descends more, um, in a way, with a little more weight, let's say, something like that, But it is seen, it is seen.
Yeah. So this is good. See, you see this now. So then you are benefited by this. And I noticed that you are continuously now regularly attending meetings now. So it's just perfect. No? We don't have to define it so much, actually. I feel like this. Because that will create again some confusions. So let's, what I'm where I'm inviting you right now, Kiran, and actually everybody, is that don't live with any knowledge that is not verified by you yet. Live with that knowledge which you know yourself. Don't live with any knowledge which you don't really know, because that knowledge is what is making your water muddy. Not your true knowledge. True knowledge does not make your mind blurry or your eyes dirty. That makes your eyes shining and you're seeing more clear. So just don't hold on to any knowledge which you don't have really. Like if you have a doubt, it means it's not true knowledge. True knowledge, doubt cannot come. True knowledge and doubt don't come together ever, ever. So true knowledge, it has to be challenged also in time, slowly, and that is where you will know that whether it survived or not. So what do you feel? Is it good enough like this?
It's beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. It's good. It's good, really. Okay. Then Yogesh, you wrote before, but I think it is already covered that. Namaste, beloved. What is the difference between seeing as consciousness and seeing from mind? Is there any difference? And then you wrote that I feel I just got the answer in your conversation with Kiran. Thank you, beloved. Okay, thank you. That's nice. Then Anna, you wrote, thank you for this pointing to Kiran. I saw a blind spot of learning and storing. I also saw a fear of the habit of inauthentic interaction with people, a social self. Thank you for this seeing. Thank you. This is nice, no? It is really all about this, being in the present, remaining in the present, and the blind spots are highlighting, like this. But if you are for truth, you may feel bit stressed sometime, but when your very deep blind spots are being highlighted, but you will not really go away, or you will not choose anything else. And like this, by remaining in the present, everything is conquered. You wake up, no? This is what is waking up. No? So very, very nice. Shanto, you also wrote that it feels magic in the present. Yeah, it is actually. The past and future is also in the present. The present is not moving. Yes, it's just like this. That's why we don't have to even call it present, no? Because present gives the impression that it is something of this trinity called past, present, and future. There is only past and future. There is no present really. It's truth or you and past and future in a way. You not moving, past and future moving, which are thoughts, no? Thoughts or framework in the mind, which is moving. This is fine, no? I think it's good. I have covered everyone, I think, but let me have a look again. Yeah, everyone. So maybe one last question I can take if anybody has any question, and then afterward, yeah, Shanto, you can talk. You have to speak louder because it's difficult to hear you, no?
To say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Your voice is so low that did not come on my screen yet. Let me see. Yeah. How nice. So is it all is well?
All is, yes, all is well. Personally, I feel very good. I want to share, and if possible, have some clarity here. So 3 weeks back in the satsang, I was a bit shaken. I would say this sentence in Hindi, चोट लग गई थी दिल पे. It was not the feeling of hurt. Somewhere you said, just check, why is this journey? Are you doing this thing just to have a peaceful and balanced life? So,
But I'm very happy that it happened like this, no?
so for 1 week, I was watching and seeing. And then this, in the next week, came the state of not moving, not to move. And something more happening in the previous satsang also, of to watch what is triggering with the others. So a state that is moving, which, like, I'm in the states of not moving, where it is triggering from the others. What is triggering? Is the body mind triggering, or I am getting triggered? So it immediately brings me back. So that magic, I see it's happening. And also, like with today's thing, I want to see, like, as if I started from Bombay, I had to reach Pune, but I am stuck in Lonavala, relaxing and doing love affair. So
Makes sense. It's a rainy season, no? So Lonavala is very beautiful right now.
but sometimes there is this anger coming because not reaching. Sometimes there is pain also. And then again the love affair starts, and when coming back is easy, but then this is also there, like, I was feeling like, now better get married. And this is like, yes, it's a frustration actually, a little.
So how is it now? Is it like this all still, or anything but different, or like this?
At this moment, very beautiful. And as I said, like, it goes out and coming in.
See, there are not only thoughts, there is not only what happens outside of our body, not only our body that moves, but there are other things also, like what you are saying, even the understandings and, states, even they come and go like this, no? So it's going to be like this, but there is an option here, no? You have an option maybe. So I just want to give you the information about that option, no? I'm just trying to figure you out where you are. You are here. That option is that you can choose to not go anywhere. You can choose to be only present. And let it go. Let whatever goes go. And even let whatever come even inside you. You choose to not move. What will happen by this is not that you will be attacked by something which is not nice and you feel coming in, or something which is very nice and leaving you. No, like this, actually, you will become clear about what is going on here. And you will laugh, actually, that you were trying to control the flow of river, which is not possible. And which was not necessary also. You are the seer of the river. You are the seer of what comes and goes. By being still in the present, you discover that without any effort. So you don't have to see things in what we call HD details, or 4K or 8K detailing. You have to be very clear about just this point, that I will remain wherever I am, with the fact the way it is, If you don't work on anything, you become free from the sense of doer, which is what is ego, no? There is no other ego in you except that I can do something about it. You know, if you can refrain yourself from this impulse of doing something about it, only in these things, no, in internal things, not about the practical life, but about this, you become free from the hypnosis. Please understand, you become free from the identification. There is an identification, not like a lock or something. There is no chain. There is just identification. I hope you understand what is identification. It's like a hypnosis, no? You become one. In Hindi, we say at. What is it's called? A very beautiful word, no? I heard from Osho, no? Identification, no? Ekatmata, like you become experientially, you become one with it, like this. So this will break, So remain in the present. Don't work on anything. Just remain in the present. It's not that what comes will not come or what goes will not go. It's just that your misunderstanding about it will remove. Then you will feel this is okay. It is the nature of things. So is this fine like this, or anything?
Yes, beloved, very beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. This is these are fundamental things. You just understand them, and really nothing else to be done. Very good, very good. Then there was something somebody said, and then I read that, and then we end this meeting now. Pankaj, you wrote, enjoyed the fresh look, Rajiji. You have given a very good way to check when truth is there. There is no fear. Thank you so much. Gratitude. How nice. Nice. Rinku, you also wrote, thank you. So, Rajiji, wish you a very happy Father's Day. Is it Father's Day today? Oh, thank you. I cannot wish you the same, but thank you. Thank you for your love and gratitude. Thank you, Rinku. Manan, you also wrote, thank you so much for today's session. Shashikant, you also wrote, I loved the session. I am here first time. So this must be somebody else. Shashank. It must be Shashank then. That I'm here first time, being in the present, and that is the truth. Thanks, Kiran, and thanks, Raji. Oh, thank you. Now I think it is Manan who wrote, love you. I love you, beloved. Suresh, you also wrote, thank you. Suresh. You wrote, my Shashank, you wrote, my name is N.S. Iyer. Okay. Thank you, N.S. Iyer. Rahul, you wrote also, thank you. Thank you, beloved. Yogesh, you wrote, thank you for today's session, gratitude. Thank you, Yogesh. Jogan, you wrote, Charan Spars. Thank you. Now Shrikant wrote, thank you. Understand. Thank you, beloved. So it's very good. Then is this still Kiran sent there? Yeah. So then one last is Anil. Anil also today here, no? He wrote, thanks for the pointings. Really helped. Okay. How wonderful. Kiran, you can talk quickly, then we end this meeting.
Yes, Raji, I just want to be very straight with you that it's not yet 1:30, and I didn't want to let you go before that.
All right. Let's stay for 4 more minutes.
And I'm hoping that it'll go to at least 1:35, but we'll see. I mean, ultimately you decide, Raji. You know, I'm just just little test, like just to be with you a little bit longer. Yeah.
Actually, a request like this or a expression like this is very sweet always, no? Because you are not, your expression is not so much like this that I want like this. You are giving me so much freedom also, no? It's wonderful. Very happy to hear this. Even if we don't continue, still I feel blessed to hear this from you. No? Thank you, beloved, for this love. Because this is the only motivation force for me actually. In fact, maybe for all the teachers, I think. I don't know that, but so thank you for this motivation. No? Because I think one thing is clear now. Jogan also, you wrote that. Thank you, Kiran, for keeping Rajiji here, no? Like this. You wrote. So listening to that, thank you, Jogan. One thing is clear that we enjoy being in the truth, no, right now like this, which is already such a good news actually. I mean, I feel like this. It is a good news for you, no, who enjoys being in the truth, because the taste of truth actually is not similar to any taste actually. As long as you see the taste of truth to be similar than anything that you have tasted before, that is being translated somehow through your mind, or that is being converted through the filters of the state of the being. But when you taste the truth directly like this, there is no parallel to it. There is no comparison. There is no comparison really. It is the subtlemost substance, let's say, if we can call it like this, that you can experience, that one can experience. This is the subtlemost vibration one can taste. And upon tasting it, just one taste, 1 second of tasting it is a revolutionary, really. You can really never be the same, actually, if you can taste it as it actually is for 1 second. Because in the tasting of truth as it is, there is nobody else, only truth, tasting itself. There is nobody else here. There is no other here. There is no other here. In the present also, there is no other here. Right now, only truth. As it is, everything as it is. Kiran, if your body is true, there is no power which can make it false. And if your body is not true, or you are not seeing it or tasting it as it actually is, then there are all possibility to see and experience it as it actually is. So this business of seeing the truth or knowing the truth is not about changing anything. It's not about creating anything also. It's about somehow becoming free from the influenced state of the being, the conditioned state of the being, not of the body or mind. Body-mind conditioning matters not here. And the being can only be free from conditioning by being in the present. Because everything else is mind except the present. Everything else is mind actually. Anything that we experience other than the present is mind only. When being becomes clear, then the temporariness of the body is found to be so miraculous. That body is so temporary and fragile, and yet it survives as if it's like going to live like forever, no? So anybody who is visiting, who is coming to the truth, does not need to have any fear, because you are not changing anything at all. So there is no place for fear here. By yourself, you are learning. You are the guru, you are the disciple. Just remain in the present. Like, hey, I kind of, I was hypnotized by the TV I used to watch. You noticed maybe. Okay, so that's fine. Before that, you did not notice. Now you noticed. Even here, if I ask you what is the truth of this moment, what tools you will use to explain to me, what knowledge you will use to explain to me, from where that knowledge will come, from the past. Present does not have a knowledge in concepts. Present has only true knowledge as it is. This knowledge cannot be taken out of the present, out of the truth, or out of yourself. But by knowing more and more truth, you become more and more truth in a way, which means less and less false. At some point, there is no false, only truth. I think this is good. I will end now. Thank you, Kiran, for keeping me here. No?
Thank you so much, Raji. Thank you.
Thank you, beloved.
It's a love affair.
Yeah. Then Pragya, you also wrote gratitude. Thank you. Kiran, Kumar, you wrote lots of love, Raji. I feel so grateful for your presence in our lives. Thank you. Thank you, beloved. Then Mr. Iyer also wrote again that I am Iyer here. The only time is now, is what I understood. And that is truth. Am I right? Yes. So beautiful. I am the Guru and I am the Sishya. Yes, it's also true. You are saying gratitude. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Just quickly, I want to share to you, Mr. Iyer, that try to see the difference between experience and truth. It does not mean that present is the only truth, that you cannot experience anything else. You can experience past, but only as an experience, not as truth. You can experience future also, but only as experience, not truth. So please see the difference between experience and truth. Present is truth, in which all the experiences happen, and the experiencer also is present. It does not mean that there will be no experiences of past and future, only the present. It's not true. It's another idea we are trying to impose on the truth of life. So stay in the present. All of this will be known by you. I don't have to explain like this, maybe. No? So good. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I feel it was nice meeting all of you, and it was useful. I feel in some way, because this is the purpose, no? That these meetings are useful in some way. They serve some purpose, no? And what can be a better way than just being in the present, no? Like this? Okay. Then I'll see you all again, friends. Thank you very much.